All right, guys, so it's day 5 painting. We finally got all these trims that I've been working on primered right out, cut out, everything. I showed up this morning, and because I did the video, I do these videos and I watch them at night when I get home, just to see if there's anything that I might notice in the video that I had missed or something. And when I was watching the video, I noticed that before I primed all these, I had did all the work, but there was a lot of things that I couldn't notice because of the discoloration and the trims all over the place. Now that I've primered everything, I was able to see every little nick and ding and nail hole and everything. That's why when we do new trims, I generally let the person install all the new trims, and then I'll prime them all, and then I'll caulk them all, and then touch up any nail holes or whatever over the primer. But because these are old ones, we kind of had to do it backwards because of all the sanding involved and grinding involved and filling holes and paint chips and everything. But now here we are. So I showed up this morning, and after watching the video last night, after I put the primer on, just rolled, I was noticing little nicks and dings everywhere, and it was driving me crazy all night last night. I didn't even sleep because of it. So first thing I got here this morning, I ran around and I remembered where all the nicks and dings were from my video last night. And I ran around and I filled them all, and now I've brushed them all out and then finished off all the primer. And now it's looking a lot nicer. Now I'm happy with what we got going on. Last night I was watching that video and it was driving me nuts because I could see little nicks and dings everywhere. A little chunk will hit off, I'll flick it off and then it'll paint out. So I've cleaned up everything now. It's very, very clean now. Very nice. This stuff didn't have too much stuff involved. So everything's all cut in. I rolled everything again today because there was still a bunch of little spot patches that I had done everywhere. So now in this trim, you don't notice where the paint chips were anymore. I filled it all out today, cleaned it all up. Now I'm happy with the way the trims are looking. I was talking with the homeowner today. We decided that they're going to look into getting that plug out. He's got to find out if it is live or not. And then I've got to come back to do the rest of the trims once they install the remainder of the trims. There's still almost half the house left to do. So when I come back to do the remainder of the trims, I just left that little spot unprimed, whatever. I'll fill that up and fix that up. It's just one little spot. So now that top edge is shining, it's looking really nice. It's cleaned in everywhere. There's no more paint chips anywhere or nothing like that. It's looking really, really good. I'm a lot happier with it now. No more nicks and dings on the board. The window, I primed everything again on it too. Did any little touch-ups on it. Cut it all in. So it's looking a lot nicer now. So everything's ready to start finish coating now. Same thing here, there was a bunch of roughness there. I kind of cleaned it up. That top piece, there's nothing I can really do with it. The whole thing was chipped right off. So. I cleaned up some of the nicks and dings on the walls today too, and then just spot primed them over top once they were all sanded out. So there's a lot of nicks and dings from the trim guy and from me when I was scraping paint off the trims, and it happens. So they're all fixed now though. So I rolled everything. All the trims have been rolled a second time now too, because there was lots of little spots that I touched up today. But now they're looking so beautiful. Now they're looking like they've always been attached to the wall. Sorry, I'm trying not to go too fast so you can actually see it, but I'm being rushed out the door right now. My ride's been here for about 10 minutes waiting for me. That top edge is looking a lot better. There's still a little bit of a bleed through there. So I hit it one more time with some kills again tomorrow. And then one quick coat of primer over top. That's just drying. That's why it's gray in some areas and white in some areas. It's still drying. So same thing with up there. I got this side coated all the way around, just one quick coat. I didn't touch that because I'm gonna wait till he finishes the rest of the trims in here before I start doing that, because it's only one little piece and he's still got to put all that stuff on. And then I'll go around and I'll just put masking tape all along the bottom of the trims, so that way I don't get any paint on the floor at all or in his grout. So that's all caulked in and stuff now and sealed. I sanded this and skimmed it today, but as you can see it's still pink in some areas. It's still drying, so I have to sand it out tomorrow and then be able to prime it out, or caulk it and then prime it. So I just touched all that window up today, grinded it all out, and then touched it all up. And then caulked around the outside. So there we go, that's where we are. Day 5, finally all these trims are done and now everything's ready for starting to finish. And then I got one coat of finish paint rolled and cut on every single ceiling today. Every single ceiling, rolled and cut. So you can't really tell, but if you look up in the corner, it's a lot whiter. That's because when I cut it in, I cut the bottom edge in too. And what that does is when I roll the walls with the color, when I go to cut it in, it's a lot smoother and easier to run your brush along to cut it in straight. So there we go. In the kitchen, I didn't do much. I just rolled these trims again one more time, that's all. Brushed out any touch-ups and then rolled the trims one more time. So, same thing with these trims. There's no point touching them until they finish all the bottom ones all the way around. Then I'll come in here and work on these trims again. So for now, it's going to be the trims out here and getting that window started to finish coat, and this back window here started to finish coat. The homeowner had asked me to do that because I'm gonna have to take a few days off once I'm caught up on painting and I need the rest of the trims to be installed. And I guess during those few days off, or maybe I believe this weekend, I don't know, he's got some real estate people coming in and he wants that window to be like a showcase kind of thing for what's going on so far, because I guess they've seen this house before any of this work was done, which it was rough, and now it's beautiful. Thanks to We Care Drywall Repair and professional plastering services. Have a great day, guys.